So we've looked at choosing fonts, controlling font size and leading, but next to these options there are 6 other icons here indicating some other character formatting options we need to explore. So let's choose the zoom tool and zoom in here on this top line of the second column. And we're going to make several changes. Now using our type tool, let's select this bit of placeholder text here. This first option is, if you hover over it for a moment, you'll see the tooltip, that's all caps. So with a single click, it will change the case of that type. Now let's double click this second word and change this one to small caps. So all caps, small caps. Now let's do each character in this word with a different option. There's superscript, there's subscript, so ascending and descending letters. We'll select the letter A and we'll choose to underline that letter. And then we can select the letter T and click strike through. So again, we have all caps, small caps, superscript, subscript, underline, and here we have strike through. Now for the underline, we're getting the basic defaults here, but you can customize this. To customize the underline, go to the panel menu here at the end of the control panel, go to the flyout, and notice we actually have options for underline and strike through. So let's look at underline just briefly. We'll move this over to the side a little bit and make sure preview is turned on so we can see the work that we're doing. And you can change different options. For example, we might increase the width of that underline, and you can see that update in real time here in the layout. That might be a bit too much, but we can change the weight, we can change the offset and move that further down or closer to the baseline. You can also change the color of the underline, you can change even the style. Maybe you want 2 thin lines. All sorts of options are available. You can go ahead and play with that, find something you like. I'm just going to go ahead and click cancel and accept the default, but note that you do have options. Similarly, in the panel menu, we can choose strike through options, and again, very similar options here. You can have strike through, choose weight, offset, color, type, and so on. Again, remember that there is no full bold or faux italic up here in the options. We have to have the bold or italic font installed to access that feature. Now let me select one more word in this line and point out a few other options. We do have the ability to vertically scale text, so we can come here in this pull down menu and maybe scale that by 125%. I'm not suggesting you do that. It's something you would want to use judiciously, so I'm going to press Command Z or Control Z on Windows to undo that. Similarly, we do have horizontal scaling, so you can make that extra wide. Again, I feel like we're kind of brutalizing that font there a little bit, so I'll undo that. But you do have options. Additionally, you can control baseline shift. So if you do want something a little bit higher than the baseline or a little bit lower, you can control that. It's a little bit more fine-tuned than simply choosing superscript or subscript. You can go up and down here. Let's actually change that to 0 points and just type that in. And also here you have the ability to skew your type. So in lieu of a true italic, you could fake it a little bit here with the skew value. Again, be careful with this, don't overdo it, but you do have that option. So I'm going to set that back to 0 as well to set those characters back upright. Now we've done some goofy stuff with this text just to show some of the more obscure options. You can leave those as is or you can undo them, it's up to you. But at this point I'm going to press Command 0 on the Mac or Control 0 on Windows to zoom back out to fit in view. I'm going to grab the zoom tool and I'm going to zoom in on this first line of the first column.